What do Bad Omens, Pierce the Veil, Spirit Box, Sleep Token, Lorna Shore, and Dayseeker have in common? Well, other than being badass, of course, these bands have broken through the mainstream recently due to an online presence. But is this success the sign for legendary careers, or is it just another viral fad meant to blow over? What's going on, everybody? This is the No Skip Show. I'm your host, Travis Platt, and today we're here to talk about the current state of metal in 2023. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below, as well as click the notification bell to keep the record spinning. As well as check me out on all social medias. Those will be in the link in the description below. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let's start with Bad Omens, arguably TikTok's favorite band at the moment. They are riding an incredible wave of success with many breakout songs from their newest album, The Death of Peace of Mind, which was a very expansive record for the metalcore turned hard rock band, incorporating elements of R&B, pop, and electronics to create a modern and arena-ready sound. It's proven to work. They've sold out every single headlining show announced since the fall of 2022 with a rotating list of successful singles. None of their singles are more notable than Just Pretend, being a viral hit on TikTok. Thus, the band has gained a new legion of young fans, introducing many people to the hard rock and metal scene, just like bands like Pierce the Veil and Sleeping with Sirens did a decade prior. Now, nearly a year removed from the album's release, they are more successful than ever and are beginning to headline major rock festivals that have been signing on the same exact headliners for years, breaking the mold that we can have a massive modern rock band. I also want to highlight Sleep Token here. They went from being metal's best kept secret with a small legion of dedicated, passionate fans to being #1 on Spotify's Viral 50 chart, even getting a shout out from Demi Lovato. They are beginning to ride a wave of viral success right now thanks to TikTok, and I'm excited to see where they go from here. If you want to see me make a video all about Sleep Token, comment below. But so what? There's so many bands and artists that go viral for such a short amount of time and then fade into obscurity. Why can't that happen with all the metal bands right now? Regardless of whether these bands are destined for longevity or not, it's too early to tell for sure. However, I feel this is a great opportunity to allow many new people to enter the scene. Think of how many indie kids started liking Turnstile out of nowhere. Now they've been nominated for several Grammys. But with metal, metalcore, and heavier music in general, there is one major issue preventing this from happening. The fans. Gatekeeping. It is such a major issue in metal. The idea that when a band begins to gain any traction, they are automatically generic, corny, and bad.
These guys are so gimmicky with their mask and black paint, like, lol. Listen to some real fucking music, okay? Listen to some real music, okay?
I noticed this especially when a band begins to grow through TikTok. I remember when To the Hellfire by Lorna Shore was released, all of the online metal groups were losing their shit over the final minutes of the song. Everyone was. It really showed the full capabilities of the human voice and how many crazy monster sounds vocalist Will Ramos can make. But as soon as YouTube and TikTok reaction videos started coming out, Lorna Shore were deemed sellouts, generic, and annoying. When Spirit Box broke out in 2021 with the release of their full-length debut album Eternal Blue, it welcomed so many people from the buttcore era of the late 2010s into a more progressive and technical sound. To me, Spirit Box is right in the middle between technical and commercial in the best way possible. They were praised endlessly, until the gained traction, that is. Casual fans and even entry-level fans started to actually listen to music that the real metal fans considered good. So those real fans had to switch to another underground band, continuing the gatekeeping cycle. I truly believe that the biggest issue in metal right now is that the fans do not want the bands to succeed. I've seen many instances where bands have altered or changed their sound to reach a more commercial audience, and their hardcore supporters aren't big fans of it. And that is completely valid. I've had my share of bands that I have loved for years, but then they altered their sound to be something that is less interesting to me. So I will go and dedicate time to other bands that I think do deserve the platform and that I am a big fan of. But the second that the same exact song that people are hyping up eventually is turned on by the fans, the second it gets popular or any mainstream attention, that's where it's really messed up. We're running into a major issue where there is a divide between the real fans and the casuals. There's no ability to share the band because if too many people know, then they're considered bad. I saw this years ago when bands like Beartooth, Wage War, and Fit for a King began to implement elements of radio rock into their sound. People began to jump ship and went to other bands immediately, screaming from across the road that they're not real metalcore. But for a casual fan who's trying to get into the scene, a wild goose chase to find the real metalcore bands isn't even worth pursuing, so they eventually just leave the scene. So, what can we do to change this? As a whole, I feel that we, as metalcore and metal fans, need to acknowledge that there are many different flavors to the music that we love, and accept that we all like different flavors of the same thing. This will create a better community for us all. Rather than pushing away people for liking the vanilla flavors, invite them to try your favorites. More fans means more tours, and that means more opportunities to see your favorite bands and more success for all the bands involved. There are great examples of radio-friendly hard rock bands that have metalcore roots that are killing it right now. Bad Omens, Motionless in White, Dayseeker, Ice Nine Kills have all really broken through the scene recently, even though sonically it doesn't make that much sense. Specifically with Ice Nine Kills, some of their songs are very heavy and brutal, but people latch on to that horror movie gimmick that comes with that band. These bands are helping the scene grow and exposing it to a wider group of people. But if you're one of the fans that think that they're all a little too radio friendly for you, I've got news. There are tons of different subgenres that may cater to you more than the bands that are pushing into the mainstream, whether it be progressive metalcore, mathcore, metallic hardcore, or whatever it is. There are so many different subgenres. So to say that it's all garbage nowadays because there are radio-friendly bands is just plain wrong. Think of how you discovered your favorite bands. Was it social media? Was it through a friend? Was it going to a show and seeing them open for another band? Comment below your favorite band and how you got into them. Regardless of how you got into them, you probably also listened to other bands that were very similar. For me, I started with Killswitch Engage, Slipknot, Pierce the Veil, and A Day to Remember. Those are all gateway bands, but does that make them awful bands? Absolutely not. I'd really like to see an era where we can celebrate success in metal instead of dividing the masses. As a new band in today's standards, it is much harder to reach success with the constant feed of social media being shoved in our faces every single second. So why not celebrate the bands who can play in bigger venues and bring in the big crowds, and the bands that can support them on tour who are looking for their next break as well? You never know. The next big breakthrough band may be one of your buddies, and you really don't want to see them gatekept, would you? As always, be sure to like this video, comment below your favorite bands and how you got into them, as well as clicking that notification bell to keep the record spinning. Thanks for watching and happy listening.